Today's team composition is all about the core of Annihilate and Shadow Feraligatr, since we're gonna utilize this core up against the entire meta of Open Great League. Not only that, but we're gonna test out Annihilate towards the worst possible scenarios up in front, while our Feraligatr is still gonna struggle on the safe sweet spot, but at the same time it is gonna provide a lot of neutral coverage against the entire meta. On paper, this team might look a little bit glassy, but offensively it is absolutely scary for a lot of meta-relevant teams in Open Great League. Without any further ado now, cue the intro. Let's begin now today's content with our Annihilate up in front. Pidgeot is a very bad lead for us, so we eventually switch out to our Shadow Feraligatr. Not only that, but the bad news keep going here since they have a Dragonair at the back which happens to catch our Hydro Cannon. But this is how good Shadow Feraligatr can be, able to draw the shield here even with that resisted Hydro Cannon, and now that we have the shield advantage, perhaps Shadow Zapdos can emerge at once as a very good closer for this battle. So down they go eventually, but first we need to tank all of those moves that they're gonna throw, and as it seems we can snipe them down here with farming some crucial energy with our Shadow Zapdos. With that in mind now, they come into the battle with Pidgeot, able to go for that feather dance, but to be fair, Shadow Zapdos doesn't care about the debuffs, able to land the one shot even after that severe debuff with a Thunderbolt, and since they have now that Skarmory, all we need to do is to hit them with another Thunderbolt. Even if they do not block, we can easily go ahead and reach to another Thunderbolt, but as it seems we managed to finish them off with those counters since Annihilate is still alive and well. Into the next battle now with Whiskas up in front, able to deal so much pressure with those counters, and of course we can rely on our mediocre bulk since we can survive one move at least kinda with ease. So Shadow Ball now, even with the debuff, is gonna hurt that Whiskas. We're just gonna switch out now to our Feraligatr because I want to see what they might be having at the back. And I figured out that with this team, Feraligatr is the perfect Pokemon to draw out of your opponent's backline something like a Lantern, which is something that your Zapdos is definitely gonna be afraid of. Hydro Cannon here on the shield, and we get farmed down in the process. It doesn't matter at all though, because we can still go ahead and rely on our Annihilate. They cannot farm down with those poison jabs, and as it seems they have access to the acid spray, so we're just gonna keep going at it with our moves. Down they go eventually, Skarmory now at the back, Whiskas trying to catch the move I guess, but this is not gonna work because Drill Peck is still gonna one-shot them down. So as it seems they want to shield that Whiskas in a very weird effort over here, and right after we're just gonna keep going at it with another Drill Peck. I know from the bottom of my heart that we have that Thunderbolt right in our pocket because they cannot outspeed us to a double charge attack. So here comes now the nuke once again up against that Skarmory, and of course this will end up into an amazing victory for our Zapdos. Into the next battle now with a Shadow Ninetales from Kanto. This is a Pokemon that I haven't seen in a while, and overall it is gonna be extremely troublesome if we are not careful. So I know that they need 4 of those Fire Spins for the first and 3 for the second Weather Ball, so I will try to catch here on that Feraligatr in a pretty smart way, because most trainers are gonna throw after they see your own move, because they are not gonna expect the immediate switch out, but we absolutely did that, and we managed to catch that fire type Weather Ball on our Pokemon. Not only that, but we also get the shield out of the Wigglytuff and one more Hydro Cannon to drop them severely low. I know here that Annihilate has already done its job, so I'm just gonna sacrifice for the greater good, but at the same time I figure out that I have access to that Ice Punch, and we're just gonna finish them off in style. Before they reach here to another Weather Ball, I want to finish them off as fast as possible, keeping my final shield for the end game, and as it seems they have a Quagsire. You know what, Shadow Zapdos is definitely gonna go to town here, because all we need to do at this point is to survive the falling move. To my surprise, they use Aqua Tail. Of course, I could not have been more surprised because that was only 4 of those mud shots, but anyways, but still here that Annihilate will take advantage of our shield flex and of course gonna finish them off in the one shot with a Ice Punch since they were pretty low on HP. Into the next battle now with a flyer up in front. All you need to do here is to go for the Shadow Ball and then try to switch out because most of the times they are gonna block, but if they do not, well, that's a pretty easy catch on Zapdos because they have to throw, otherwise they're gonna get farmed down. So over here now I'm just gonna go for the Drill Peck. They got Whiskas on the switch. This is absolutely wonderful news for me because not only we can push for back-to-back Drill Pecks, but also we can grab a shield in the process, which is pretty neat if you ask me. Scald here will definitely finish us off, but Shadow Zapdos has already done its job. Now Feraligatr will come into the battle and I know I can outspeed here to the charge attack since I have access to the Hydro Cannon to provoke that second shield out of the game pretty early into this battle. I also know that Skarmory might be kinda energy dry, so it all depends on what they actually might be having on the very end. Able to force the CMP here, finish them off after I overcharge a little bit. That can be absolutely crucial. They have a Dragon type and they also managed to catch my Ice Beam on that Skarmory. I had to throw, but at the same time I could have expected that switch. But anyways, here comes now my Ice Punch to drop them severely low. My counters are not enough, but eventually they are, and down goes that Giratina to my mediocre gameplay. Into the next battle now with that Gligar up in front. This is obviously one of the worst leads that you can get. This Pokemon can resist the electric moves from Zapdos, has access to the RLAs to finish off in the one shot my Annihilate, and also can go pretty rough against my Feraligatr under shielding. So anyways, Lantern is out of the way now and I can totally rely on my Zapdos because they might be a ground type like I have said already on this content, but at the same time they're gonna struggle a little bit throwing a super effective move on my Zapdos. Not only that, but also they have now a Poliwrath at the very end, which happens to be both a water type and a fighter, so whatever move I throw here is just gonna almost one shot down. Even after the debuff, I'm pretty sure that the Drill Peck here will just destroy down the remaining HP that this Pokemon is having, and since they want to block here, I'm just gonna keep going at it with my Drill Pecks. Down they go, Gligar now comes into the game and I know for sure that I need to block no matter what. My moves are not gonna be clutch here because they managed to farm down my Annihilate and I am not in a very good position since now I'm getting energy difference on that matchup, and of course Gligar can easily get here to the final RLAs to finish me off. Into the next battle now with the Gligar once again up in front. Let's see how we can do this time because Feraligatr is coming in a very weird switch up against a Serperior. So you know what, I'm just gonna go straight for the Ice Beam. We are able to land the big nuke on the grass type and perhaps get a chance at flipping around that very bad lead that we just had. It all depends now on the final Pokemon and it ends up being a Charjabug, which is another big go breaker especially for my backline. The battle is definitely not over yet because I can totally rely here on my Annihilate and see how my opponent decides to respond on my moves. So Gligar comes into the battle and I have the Ice Punch ready to go. They're gonna take the move so pretty low already for that poor Gligar, and of course right after we're gonna go down to the RLAs. You know what, I'm just gonna go here for the extra mile, just gonna force the CMP. Down goes their final shield. This is absolutely crucial and I will make a crucial mistake as well over here because what I should have done is to overfarm as much as I can, knowing that the next move can easily be taken by my Zapdos and perhaps I could farm down completely in the end, but it doesn't matter because Charjabug is still gonna reach here to the discharge and finish me off. So the only play that I had in reality was to completely farm down that Gligar, and after the previous two Gligars I finally have another Gligar for the end of today's content. Let's let's see if we can absolutely beat down this one, because as you can see, Gligar is a big core breaker and I want to showcase as much as I can of that Pokemon on today's content so that you can understand how you can play around that threat. Overall, you saw that there are a lot of opportunities for you to grab and absolutely finish off that Gligar lead in the end game with proper rotation. So let's see how this is gonna go, because overall here we still managed to get both of them shields out of play. I know that Icy Wind here can easily be taken, it cannot be a scald for sure, but at the same time we are severely debuffed. So by switching out to my Zapdos, we can kinda have the upper hand with that energy stored up for the end game, since now the debuff is cleared. Now at the very end they have a Quagsire, and this means that we can absolutely farm as much as possible. This is definitely not gonna be something like a Stone Edge, so by taking advantage of that we managed to finish them off on the next CMP checkpoint. Here comes now the Gligar, another Drill Peck, this time for victory, and we managed to get trainers after we block, because they somehow survive the move, but right after they can still finish us off. Of course, you already know but that I have one Ice Punch ready to go. That could have been an amazing battle for my opponent, but at the same time it was much more amazing for me because we had some horrible individual matchups over here. So that is gonna be the end of today's content. Before you go, like the video, leave a comment below, and why not become a subscriber if you are already not one. I don't know what you're doing over here anyways. So till the next time, take care trainers.